How we doing, everybody? Tim from Ski Rex Media coming to you once again from the HQ amongst the sounds of dump trucks and heavy equipment building a bridge within sight if the plants weren't so big and green. Plants are really big and green. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with all the rain we have been getting. But coming to you against the sound of construction right outside, and I hope it's not being picked up here on the microphone, which I don't think it is. I can hear it, but I don't think you can hear it. And I'm going to, put in the noise reduction and all that good stuff anyway. So there you go with that. Now, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about a couple things. And I think one of the things we're going to talk about is music. We all know that music is a big part of Ski Rex Media. I can't say a big part, but I've talked about it, and I've even thought about ways to bring music more into Ski Rex Media, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. You know what? First, let's do this. Let's do the ad reads first. Let's do that first, and you know who they are. First, we talk about Whaleback Mountain, who's going to feature big in this episode. They feature big in a lot of my episodes, but Whaleback Mountain's featuring big in this episode because they are a year-round mountain. That's right. They say ski it to believe it, and you can do that. But during the summer, you could. I'm sure you could ski it if you have grass skis, or you just want to use your skis and trash them on the dirt and the grass and the rocks. But during the summer, they have plenty going on as well. They have summer camps for the kids. They have a music and concert series, which is what we're going to talk about some today. They have disc golf. They have sand volleyball. They have all kinds of stuff going on during the summer and fall. And if you really wanted to, you could take a walk up to the top of the mountain. You really could. There's a geocache up there. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to go get it. I didn't know it was up there, but now that I know it's up there, I'm going to go get it because I want to get back into geocaching. And why not start at my home mountain of Whaleback? Whaleback Mountain has all kinds of stuff going on during the summer, and then when it comes time, go there and ski it to believe it. I love it, that place. You should love that place too. Check it out if you have the chance. Again, Whaleback Mountain, right off of I-89, exit 16, one of the most easy mountains to get to. It's all highway, and it's right off the highway. You could spit from the highway and hit their parking lot. Almost literally. Check it out on a map, or just head out there and check it out. Whaleback Mountain, ski it to believe it. Also, St. Custom Skis and Snowboards up there in Gorham, New Hampshire. That's right. If you want a pair of skis or a snowboard that is all you, and by that I mean your length, your width, your cut, your graphics, all of that stuff, you give them a shout, saintskis.com, and they can make you whatever you want. For the most part, I'm sure there are limitations. No rockets, no engines, no anything like that, but then again, I don't know. saintskis.com, Saint Custom Skis and Snowboards out of Gorham, New Hampshire. Check them out as well. Before I get too much into it, I just had a thought, talking about wanting to make music a little bit more a part of Ski Rex Media, and you've all heard me say it, make skiing metal again. That is an homage to my love of heavy metal and hard rock music, though I do like pretty much all types of rock and roll music. I listen mostly to hard rock and heavy metal, with ska coming in third, I think. Well, if you break it down into genres, it would be grunge first, then maybe ska. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I was playing with ChatGPT. You all have heard of this thing, I'm sure. We talk about AI and what it can do and all this, that, and the other. And first and foremost, I got to tell you, it's not truly artificially intelligent. Don't be fooled by that. If it were intelligent, or if it is truly intelligent, then anybody who uses it is a slave driver. Think about that for a second. It is not sentient. It is not intelligent. It is hacky. It is hack bits. It's machine learning, and it's learning from other people, and it's doing hacky bits. I know this because I said to ChatGPT, and I love playing with these things, especially the photo generators, man. They come up with some horrific stuff. Some of it's fun, and some of it some people can get it to spit out some awesome stuff. Brian over at the Highfalutin Ski Bums podcast, skibumpodcast.com, he on social media, he put up a few things that he got it to spit out, and they came out really awesome. I can't. The stuff I try to get it to spit out is absolutely horrific. Some of it's very scary, but some of it's kind of neat, and I can use it for bits and have done so on Ski Rex Media. But ChatGPT is a little different than the photo and video generators. It is wicked hacky, man. I says to it, I was like, so ChatGPT, I says, how can I bring skiing and metal together for a podcast? And it certainly had an answer, but the bits it gave me to do were so hacky. I'm talking bits that Opie and Anthony used to make fun of back during the days when they did their Jocktober bit every year, just making fun of cheesy fucking radio shows during October. It was Jocktober, and they used to make fun of these horrible morning zoo radio shows that get made fun of a lot. And the bits ChatGPT spit out were bits similar to that. Will I do them? I don't know. If I'm feeling squirrely and trying to be funny, maybe. But I doubt it. It's very hacky. So how am I gonna, aside from that, make music more of a Ski Rex media thing? Well, for now, I'm gonna do it for off-season shenanigans. Part of my off-season shenanigans has been checking out some music, mostly at the request of other folks. So I'm saying a lot. I'm tired and it's hot, man. I've been tired a lot lately. It's why I haven't gotten out as much this summer, I think, as I had wanted to. But I'm always tired. But we're looking into that, me and the primary. And the best thing about going to see my primary is that what should be a 10-minute doctor's appointment usually turns into about 25 minutes to a half hour of doctor appointment, where 80% of that's talking about skiing, even in the summer. So there you go. Anyway, joking aside, part of how I spend my off season is doing some light photo work. If you do follow Ski Rex Media and Whaleback more specifically, you will see that they have recently been tagging me in photos of past events that I have taken. Those were my photos, and I went there for them. They said, "Hey, you want to come shoot this?" And I was like, "Sure." I'm not a professional photographer, but I do my best, and I get some good stuff. I get stuff they like to use. And another person who I met there, Max, shout out to Max. He works with and runs, I think he runs the Art Council of Tamworth out there in Tamworth, New Hampshire, and he had me come out to shoot photos for the Summer Stompa, their event out there, which is very arts driven. It's arts. It's an art council. And they had a lot of music there as well. So I've gotten to do this, and they have shared my photos that I took for them and have tagged me in them, so you know who did it. And that is me. So if you do need someone to do something like that, let me know. And we'll see if you can afford me, which you probably can because I'm an amateur. I try my best, but whatever. Anyway, not the point. The point is I go to take these as part of the job was working during the off season. I do these photo shoots for these different entities, operations, mountains, whatever. And one of those is Whaleback, obviously. Art Council of Tamworth, the other. Did a lot of music. Okay, now I'm back to where I was going. I lost my train of thought. Okay, anyway, I went to 2 years running the Adam Ezra Group concert at Whaleback Mountain. Huge to do. And it's just a lot. It's a great show. The vibe, I don't like using the word vibe anymore because the younger people have just ruined it. There's a lot of, every generation butchers language a little bit more. My generation butchered a lot of language, and every generation butchers a little bit more. Now I'm getting to that age where I'm tapping out that new slang. I have no interest in it. And I don't know what young people are saying. The kids that I do spend time with, my niece, nephew, and, my friends' kids, I don't know what they're saying half the time. I make them translate it, back to, something I can understand, but I'll use the word vibe here. It's something else to see this concert on the side of a mountain. And both years, it's been a wonderful, beautiful day. This year it wasn't as sunny out, but it was still a nice day temperature-wise. It wasn't raining, which has been a big thing this summer. It was just really, really awesome. Just a great experience to see a band like the Adam Ezra Group, who are very good. Not that I know enough about music to say something's good. I can only really tell you what I like and what I dislike. But I can tell you that I think they're really good. And I was talking to people that day, and they were on. They were turned. They were they went from I don't know who this band is to they're awesome. I'm going to go buy a CD right now at the merch table. Really awesome, and the experience is just awesome to be up in the mountains, outside, hanging out, sitting in the grass or in your chair if you want, and people are dancing and having a good old time. I put up a video from the Adam Ezra Group show from this year, and people were just wigging out, and some people made fun of that video, but in as a whole, it's just a lot of fun. And I think a lot of people should do that. I love music. Most people do. That's something we share as humans. I think a love for music of different types. And we know there's music from around the world of all different types. Some you like, some you don't. But, for the most part, you have a good time with it. And I say get out there during the summer. You're off season. You're not skiing. I mean, people see music during the snow season too. But it's après. You're half drunk, totally tired. Do you even remember who you saw? Who knows? Here, it's very specific. It's very specific. You go, I don't know if that's a legitimate thing. I don't know. Laugh with me. I don't know. I thought it was funny. But when you go very specifically in the summer, and again, you can go see a big show if you want. Big old arena show with these big bands that are touring. I would love to go see Godsmack again. That's my favorite band. Also out of Boston, just like the Adam Ezra Group. I would love to see Godsmack again. I've loved them for years since their first album went big. Not the original independent release, but when they hit the radio. Shout out to the old WAAF down there in Boston. I love those guys. And, I've seen them several times, handful of times. And they're awesome each and every time. And I would love to. But why not keep it local? Why not keep it local? And, if you are local to your home mountain, take a look. So many mountains have concert series during the summer. Whaleback, they have more shows coming this summer. I know Bolton Valleys does shows. Killington does shows. A lot of mountains do shows because it's just a great way to get people out. And it's local stuff, which, again, I'm not trying to push the local ideology too much, but what you get is something maybe a little different. A band you've never heard of, but is equally as good as anybody else. There's still these small grassroots bands that are out there doing this stuff, making, a name for themselves locally and sometimes nationally, but they play the smaller venues, which a ski mountain is. Even a big ski mountain, like I said, Killington has a concert series, but it's not like going to Madison Square Garden. It's not going to a big old arena down there in Boston or Chicago or LA or Seattle or wherever you might be, whatever city you're in. It's not one of these big old arena shows with tour buses all parked out front. It's more intimate. It's wonderful. Like, you almost can't help but talk to the band because it's so small that you're going to run into them. That's just the way it is. So I highly suggest it. I 100% suggest get out there, check out some music. And it doesn't even have to be at your local home mountain. Like I said, I've seen this concert now 2 years running, shot photos for Whaleback. I'm going to probably shoot more photos for them during the season with their other concerts. And they've had some great bands come up. But you see other stuff. And again, shout out to Max again. We work together at Whaleback. He works with the Art Council of Tamworth. Oh my goodness, I am just tripping over my tongue today, my friends. He works for the Art Council of Tamworth out there in Tamworth, New Hampshire. And I'm pleased, Max, I hope I said that right, because I'm going to have trouble editing that one if I didn't. But anyway, very awesome. I went out to their one event, the Summer Stompa. I'm sure you saw photos of that. Check that out next season when it comes back around. It was a rainy day, the day I went out there and did this, but there was still a ton of people still doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool music, man. And it was out there in the middle of nowhere. And it was awesome. I shouldn't say middle of nowhere. It's rural New England. If you've been here, you understand rural New England. And it was just awesome being out there watching these bands, none of which I've heard of, had no idea who I was seeing. I was there mostly to work, to take photos. No idea who I was seeing, but I didn't care, and it didn't matter because it was just a good time with good music, a lot of fun. Highly suggest it. Check out your local music scene. And again, if you live, I shouldn't say again, but if you live in a city, then you have a wicked local music scene that's going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a whole other thing. If you live up here in the rural New England or any other rural area, ski towns and whatnot, you can Absolutely check out some, live music. That's really, really good. And of course you can during the winter. I actually have an idea about doing a rock and roll slalom, event. I made note of it to John Hunt over there at, we were talking about it and I was like, dude, I want to do this. How cool would this be? Mostly in jest. I says to John, shout out to John Hunt, executive director of Whaleback. I says to John, I was like, dude, how awesome would this be? And I told him what I wanted to do. He's like, well, if you can get it set up, let me know and we'll do it. And while I was kind of in jest, I'm pretty sure he was dead serious because he could get this stuff done. Talk about someone who can get stuff done. And he would get it done if I came to him with he said, we got funding, we got this, we got that. I just need the mountain and some help. We'd get it done. And boom, heavy metal slalom, baby. Slalom races to the driving sounds of hard rock and heavy metal. How great would that be? Oh, it'd be amazing. But I don't know if we're going to do that. But as I was saying, get out there and check out the music, man. Art is one of the things that separates humanity from the other creatures on this planet. It is. We talk about the intelligence, communication, or the ability to communicate, language and so on. And that's all well and good. But for the most part, it's humans' ability to create art. And music is one of my favorite forms of art. I like art of all kinds, man. I try to create it myself. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, and definitely not with music. I'm not a great musician. I was in marching band in the end of elementary school and through junior high. I've also played the harmonica badly and, not well enough where I can't do it. I have to be looking at something. I can't just pull out my harp and jam. I'm working on it, but for now I can't do that. What I can do is change topics completely randomly here as I'm talking, because there's something else I wanted, and the reason I did this is because it just sounded awesome to title a podcast episode, Music and Mini Golf. That'd sound awesome to me. How can I tie that in with Ski Rex Media a little bit better? I really can't. I'm sure there are ski mountains somewhere with mini golf courses. I do enjoy mini golf. I am not good at it. I don't do it often. I got beat by a couple of 13-year-olds the other day, and that's really where this story comes from. There's more to it than just mini golf. But my niece, my blood niece, I have plenty of honorary nieces and nephews too, but my sister did have two kids, a daughter and a son, so I have a niece and a nephew. And my niece says, oh, I want to go play mini golf, or her one friend did, and one of them did. And so the three of us, we decided, all right, let's go play mini golf. So that's what we did, and it was fun. It was hot. It was gross because it was so hot and humid out, but it was a lot of fun. The thing is, it's not really the mini golf. And again, I can't really tie that in because no mountain that I've been to that I can remember has a mini golf course. Maybe one does. I honestly don't remember. There's so mmany mountains out there, and I've now been to a bunch, and I don't remember what every one of them has. I have to look it up if we're talking about it usually. But we just went to a local golf course, and I guess I could tie it in if I say disc golf. You could play disc golf at almost any ski mountain nowadays, including Whaleback Mountain, whose 18-hole course is going to be finished at this year. I think that's not the two big things. They got all kinds of stuff going on over there, like I said, but they're getting the new surface lift this summer, and I'm pretty sure the disc golf course is getting finished this summer too. Whaleback.com will give you more information on that. I would like to try playing disc golf myself because I always had fun playing ultimate frisbee. Why not play disc golf? But anyway, the mini golf thing, it's more to it speaks more to a point I've made about skiing and snowboarding and snow sports during the snow season, is that it's really just a big social event, and these are games you could play by yourself, and you could ski by yourself. I do it all the time. But when you have a group of people, even if it's 2 people, 10 people, 50 people, it always gets more and more fun the more and more people you add to it. And in this case, it was family. Like, yes, my niece's friend was with us, but it was my niece. I don't have my own children. I don't. And I've gone back and forth on that over the years. So I always play with other kids. I have my niece and nephew, blood. and I help watch my baby nephew from time to time. I do stuff with my niece. That's a lot of fun. And then there was my friends' kids, the honorary nieces and nephews, whom are all older now. They're all getting into their late teens. And, they're going to be in their 20s soon, and they don't care about us anymore at that point. They're off doing their own thing, which is fine. That's what they should be doing. The point is, I don't get to spend a lot of time with family when they're in school. You don't see the kids often when they're in school, even though my family lives right up the road. But now, this summer, my niece and I, we've gone, we did the mini golf, which is about, she and I went hiking. That was a lot of fun. It's a whole thing about being able to see and spend time with your family, spend time with your kids, spend time with your parents, do all this stuff during the summer, when people seem to enjoy being outside more, although this summer it's finally getting hot and it's always been raining. So, I don't know if people went outside, although I have started to notice that people have stopped caring about the rain. They're just going out anyway. They've had it. They've been inside. They're done. They're going outside, even if it's raining. Anyway, the point is spend time with your family. If you want. I'm not saying that you have to. I know not all families get along. I know that beyond my immediate family, my family's not very close. I'm not very close with my cousins and aunts and uncles. I know where most of them are. Not all of them, but most of them. I talk to them when I can. But use your off-season time. Take your family to the concerts. Go ahead and do the mini golfing thing. You may feel a little silly about it, or maybe you don't like mini golf. That's fine too. But spend the time with your family. Spend the time with your friends. Spend the time socially as best as you can, doing whatever you want, because soon enough, coming up around the corner, will be winter again, and not all of those people ski. Let's be honest. We think skiing is the most popular thing in the world because we've been caught in weekend lift lines. But less people ski than don't ski. More people don't ski than do. And a lot of your friends aren't necessarily going to do that unless you only keep with skiing and riding friends, which that's okay too. That seems to be logistically efficient to me. Right? Right. I hope I got my point across in this episode of Off-Season Shenanigans Ski Rex Media Podcast. I think I have one more in me. One more, and that'll get us to the middle of August. And then I might bring the Off-Season Shenanigans to an end for the year. This was an experiment, the Off-Season Shenanigans podcast. So we'll see how it went. And we'll get into that with the next one here in 2 weeks. I thank you for listening. I thank you for listening all the time. The Ski Rex Media Podcast season show, on-season show, on-snow show will return shortly, probably in September, as it usually does. I also have another idea that I want to get into. And we're going to see how that turns out. Parts of Ski Rex Media are still experimentation, I'm still experimenting is what I'm trying to say without tripping over my tongue. Still experimenting with Ski Rex Media to see what we can do and what we can't do. See what works the best and see what you people like the most. So if you'd like to tell me what you like the most, go ahead to social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X as it's now called. Shout out Elon Musk. Love that guy. Even LinkedIn. Leave a comment, send me a direct message, whatever it is. Tell me, what you need to tell me. You can also send me an email, contact@skirexmedia.com. Those links are in the description for all of that. I think that is it for today. You could also go to Patreon. You can go to Patreon, free trials on all tiers, and those tiers will be changing. Again, I have a couple things going on that I might implement, and that means Patreon's going to change as well. Right. Enjoy the rest of your summer, my friends. Get out there, go listen to some music, go play some mini golf, go hiking, biking, climbing, flying, whatever it is, whatever you think you want to do. Just sit in the pool and bake, man, if that's your thing. Right? I'm saying you do it. It's summertime. It's your time off. Unless you're skiing at big snow all week or have gone to different parts of the world where there's still snow and skiing and all this and that, and snowboarding, of course, and whatever other snow sport you participate in. Right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Stick with Ski Rex Media, follow and subscribe and all that good stuff. And I will see you out there during the end of the summer and the fall, and then when the snow starts to fly. Later.